Hello, welcome to another Google Looker Studio dashboard tutorial. In this video you will be able to see how to create this amazing dashboard in Google Looker Studio. Basically we will cover one data analytics project from start to end. So basically we will be first importing data in this Google Looker Studio and then we will be creating our dashboard. We will first start with dashboard background. After we complete that, we will be able to create our title and also we will be creating those nice shapes that we have. After we complete all of that, we will be able to create our charts. So let's first take a look at our dashboard. Basically, we have few sections in this dashboard. First, we have those KPI cards. As you can see, we have 4 of them, and those cards will present the most important information about our dataset. Now we also have that map chart that will allow us to analyze this product profitability. So that is purpose of this chart, and also we will be able to analyze our profitability by channel, as you can see here. For that purpose we are going to be using this waterfall chart. Next we have one section below, as you can see here, and this section will contain product categories with highest sales, profit and the lowest unit cost. If we check this first table that contains information about sales, we will be able to see that this cameras category has the highest sales. So that is important information for us. Also, it's the same regarding this profit, and we are able to see that TV and video, they have the lowest unit cost. Now let's move on. We have one more section here below. As you can see, this is analysis by month. Basically, we are analyzing profit by month, and also we are able to see that for each of these regions. Next chart is similar, except this time we have, instead of this region, we have category. And now let's move on to the last one, and in the last one we are also able to see category analysis, but this time instead of month, as you can see here, we have quarters. So basically those are informations that we are presenting here. We also have one filter button at the top, and if we click on this button here, we will be able to filter our data based on this product category. If I click on cell phones, I will be able to see all data only for cell phones. So basically this is very useful feature for us. And now let's turn off that. Now that we understand our dashboard, let's take a look at our data that we have. I'm gonna go to Google Sheets. Basically dataset that we are using for this dashboard, it's located in Google Sheets, as you can see here. And let's go to Google Sheets. If I click on this, I will be able to see my dataset. As you can see, we are able to see some columns that we used in our dashboard. For example, we are analyzing data by channel, for example. We are not using this promotion name, but we have this product subcategory. We also have product category, region and country. Those are columns that we are using in our dashboard. We also have sales and profit. So we will be using all of that to create our dashboard. Also, what is important to mention, for these colors that I'm using in this dashboard, if you check this site here, you will be able to copy those codes for this color, and I'm going to show you how to apply those colors in your dashboard. Basically, I will leave this link in the description of this video. And also one more important thing is, if I click on this, is this site related to those icons that I downloaded. So basically you can pick color. If I click on this, you will be able to pick color, and then you will be able to find your icon that you would like to include in your dashboard. For now I'm going to close this because I already downloaded those icons. And now let's go to our dashboard. To create a new dashboard, we are going to go to Google Looker Studio homepage. So to do that, let's click on this button here, and it will take us to homepage. Basically, to create a new dashboard, we will click on this blank report button. Also, you can click on this one here. So let's try that one, report. And now we are able to start creating our report. First, what we need to provide is, of course, data source. So as I already mentioned, we have that Google Sheets that we are using for data source. So let's click on Google Sheets, and now I will be able to find my data source. Basically, this data source is called sales. Of course, I will also leave this link in the description of this video. If I choose this sales, and then worksheet is data, I could click on this add button here, then click add to report. And now we have our data successfully imported. That is the first step that we completed. Now let's delete this table, we don't need that. And next what we need to modify is this page. First I'm going to change this page size. To do that, let's go to page, current page settings, and let's click on this style. For this width, I'm going to put this number, and for height, let's put, for example, something like that. 1000, perfect. Now that we completed that, we need to find color for this background. Let's click on this theme and layout, and let's find this default background color. Let's click on that, and now we will be able to see this black color. We will be using that for our dashboard. Okay, perfect. Now we can start with title. To insert our title, let's go to this text option here, click on that and place this title here. Okay, perfect. Now we need to change text properties for this title. To do that, let's choose first color. Instead of those default colors, I'm gonna pick new one. You can find this custom option here, and let's click on this new. Now we will need to provide this hex code here. To do that, I will go to this site and I will use this color here. Let's copy this one. I'm gonna paste it here, and now we have our color. Let's click on done. And now next we need to change font size. For this I'm gonna let's put for example 60. I'm gonna also make it bold, and now I will be able to start typing. This dashboard is about products, so it will be product analysis dashboard. Okay, perfect. Now let's place this here. Let me resize this also. And now we have our title completed. We can proceed to next step. In the next step we will insert those KPI cards. To do that, let's go to this add a chart option. Let's find scorecard option and let's place it here. So let's see what we can change here. First we need to change this value. We don't need to see that record count. Instead of that, let's find number of products. How can we do that? We will use this product name column. Let's place it here. And we will be using that count distinct, as you can see here. So it will show us distinct number of products. Now for this name, let's put number of products, press enter, and we have our value completed. Now we need to modify this KPI card. Let's go to style. We are gonna skip those few options and we will change these labels. Basically this font color we will leave it as it is, and for this font size also. Let's change this alignment. Okay, perfect. And I'm gonna change background and border. For that I'm gonna pick this color that I already used. Let's click on that. And for this radius, let's try with 15 for example. Okay, that's great. Let me see how that looks. It's perfect. So let me just resize this. Maybe I could just make this bigger. So I will change the font size. Let's try with this number. Maybe something like this. Okay, this is perfect. It will be something like this. Okay, let's place it here. Let's resize this a bit. And now I'm gonna copy this. Okay, great. Now we need to change values for these cards. Let's click on the first one. And now let's pick some other value. Instead of this number of products, this time I will be using, let's find for example average price. To do that, let's find price column. Place it here, and now we will be able to see total price. But as I said, I would like to see average values. So instead of this sum, let's use this average, and now we will be able to see average price. Let's click on this tile button, and now I'm gonna change this decimal precision. Let's click on 0. That looks much better. Let's proceed to next scorecard. For this one I would like to see different number of categories, so let's use product category, place it here. And we already have that distinct count, so I will just change the name. Let's say number of categories. Let's also first change name for this one. It will be average price. Perfect. And now let's proceed to the last one. For the last one, let's put, for example, different number of subcategories. Let's find subcategory column. Click on this and type number of subcategories. Press enter. And now I will need to resize this a bit. And I will also resize all of these other cards. Okay, that's awesome. Now we completed those KPI cards. Next, I would like to insert those shapes. So to insert shape, let's go to this shape option. and let's just place it here on this page. Now I will need first to change colors for this shape. Let me change this border color. I'm gonna choose this color. And now this looks much better. Let's also change this option. I'm gonna put 15 also. Let's try with that. Okay, that's great. Now I'm gonna quickly create all other shapes. Okay, that's great. Now we have all these shapes in place. Next, we can start inserting those charts. So let's start with the first one. Here I'm gonna place map chart. So to do that, let's go to add a chart option and let's find this heat map chart. Let's place it here. Now let's resize this chart. It will be something like this. Let me also resize this one. We will need to put title here. So let's first go to this style option. And then instead of map, let's use this satellite. Okay, this looks much better. Now let's go back to this setup. And now in this weight box, I will need to add field. So for that purpose, I'm going to be using profit. Let's place it here. Okay, now that we completed that, instead of this country, we will put city. So if I do that, I will be able to see profit for these cities that we have. Basically it will be heat map. So now that we completed our values, let's change style for this chart. Let's go to style. And now let's check what we can change. First we can change this layer type. Let's try some other. Let's try with bubbles, for example. And you will be able to see bubbles instead of that heat map. You have some other options. You can try that on your own. But for now let's use this heat map. Also for this layer, let's slide it to this right side, so we will be able to see this better. Now let's try one more time, and this is much better. Now let's scroll down. We could change also this intensity. If I do that, you will be able to see that we are changing those. Now I'm gonna be changing colors. Instead of this red, I'm gonna put green, because if we have more profit, it's better basically for us, so let's use green. And for the lowest values, let's use red, for example. Or maybe we could use orange. Let's try with that. And this is perfect. Now we have our first chart in place. What I would like also to do is to add title to that chart. To do that, I'm gonna copy this shape. And I'm gonna need to resize that. What I can change here, I will change first this one. And I'm gonna put that to be, for example, 20%. Okay, that's better. And also let's remove this color. Okay, great. Now let's resize this one more time, and I think this should be enough. Let me place it here. Okay, excellent. Now let's make this smaller. And that's great. Now let's add text to our title. To do that, let's click on text. Let's place it, for example, here. And this first one will be something like this, product profitability by location. That's perfect. Now let me see if I can change something here. Let's make this, for example, 16, or maybe try with 18. Let's click on this. Let's try 16. Okay, 18 is better, I think. I think this is perfect. Let's place this here. And we have this first title. Let me just change color for this one. Instead of this white color, I'm gonna use, let's go back to our site and let's copy this color here. Let's go back, click on this font color, and let's click on this custom and paste that hex code here. If I click done, I will be able to see my new color. Now we will be using this title for each of these charts that we will be inserting. So let's copy this, and let's also copy this one. Now with these titles completed, we are able to proceed to creating next chart. Next will be waterfall chart. And let's see how to add one. Go to add a chart option. and let's scroll down. Here you will be able to find waterfall chart. Let's click on that and let's place it here. Now first I would like to resize this chart. I'll make it bigger to be something like this. Okay, now we need to change everything about this chart. First we need to change values. Instead of this dimension, currently as you can see it's city, instead of that we will put channel. Okay, great. Now we have our values. Basically we are able to see profit for this catalog, in-store, online, phone, and so on. So that's exactly that we wanted to see in this chart. Now we need to change style for this chart. Let's go to style. First, let's change this color. Instead of that, let's click on this custom and let's add another one. Let's go to our site and I'm gonna copy this time this color. Let's paste it here. Let's click on done and now we are able to change that color. What we also can change, those labels here. So let's scroll down. Let's click on this and I'm gonna put white. That's perfect. And instead of this, let's try actually with this one. Okay, that is nice. So we can leave that as it is. And now I would like to remove background and border for this chart. Let's go to style, scroll down. For background, let's put this transparent and also the same for border. That way we will be able to remove that background and border. Now we can resize this chart one more time. And this is perfect. Let me also change one more thing. If I click on this, I will be able to resize this, so we will be able to see full number here. Perfect. Let's proceed to next chart. Basically next we will insert 3 tables. We will put those 3 tables in this section here. So let's insert first table. Add a chart, find table, but instead of this one, let's use this table with bars. Let's place it here. I'm gonna just quickly resize it. And now first let's change values for the table. In this dimension, instead of city, I'm gonna put product category. And instead of this metric, I'm gonna put profit. Actually, first let's put sales. Let's try with sales. And now we are able to see total sales for each of these product categories. Instead of that, I would like to see product categories with highest sales. So let's click on this max option. And that way we will be able to see that cameras category has the highest sales. We will do the same for profit, but we will do that later. Let's first modify this table. Let's go to style. Let's scroll down. And let's remove these row numbers. We don't need to see that. Also we will remove this pagination. And then let's go to this metric box. Instead of this blue color, I'm gonna use this one that I already used for this chart. And also I will check this show number option. I would like to see actually that number here. And let's also check these compact numbers. So this will be much better. Now I will need to resize this table. Let's resize this to be something like that. And we will also add icon here. To add icon, you will need to go to that site that I already showed you and you will need to download your icons. I'm gonna just upload icons that I already have. So let's click on this image, upload from computer, click on desktop and let's find those icons. First I will insert this one. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna resize this. That's excellent. Now let's copy this and this one. And I'm gonna place it here also. In this table, instead of sales, we will provide different value. We will provide profit. So that way, we will be able to see categories with highest profit. Currently we have total profit for computers, but let's see maximum value. And now we are able to see that number. That's perfect. Now let's add one more table. Let's copy everything. I'm gonna place that here, for example. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna replace this icon with another one. Let's click on this one, setup. Let's click on that. And instead of this one, let's use this TV. Okay, that is excellent. Now let's change values for this table. This time I would like to see the lowest unit cost. So let's use unit cost field instead of profit. and instead of max, this time we will be using min. Now we are able to see that TV and video has the lowest unit cost. With this third table completed, we are done with this section. Let's proceed to the last section that we have. Last section will contain also 3 charts. 2 area charts and 1 stacked bar chart. So let's first add 2 area charts. Let's go to add a chart. Let's find area chart. Let's use this one. I'm gonna place it here. Resize this. And now we will need to change those values. So let's see what we have here. We have order date. Basically, instead of order date, let's use just month. So let's find month option. Let's click on that and we will be able to see everything by month. Now let's see what we are presenting here. We are presenting sales by product category and we are able to see that for each month. So instead of product category, I would like to analyze a region, for example. Let's put a region here and instead of sales, let's use profit. And now we are able to see our values. So let's resize this chart one more time. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, now I would like to change background and border, and also I will change colors for these lines that we have. So let's do that. Let's go to style. Let's click on this color by series order. And now I will be able to change those colors. Let's click on this first one. Let me click on this button here and I will choose different color. Let's choose this one, copy this. Let's go back to report, paste it here, and this will be the first color. Let's click on that and let's proceed to next one. For this one, let's use this color. And basically those are colors that we will be using. Now let's change that background. Let's click on style. I'm gonna scroll down. First, let's remove grid. Okay, perfect. Scroll down. For background, let's put this one. And for border, also transparent. Okay, this is much better. Now that we created this first area chart, we will be copying that and let's paste it here. Okay, great. And now we will just need to change values for this one. Instead of region, we will be analyzing categories. So let's use product category, put it here. And now we are able to see that. Basically, we don't need to modify anything here. This chart is also completed, but what we need to change are those titles for these charts. So let's click on this one here. And this first one will be region analysis. By month, and let's copy this. Let's paste it here. And this one will be category. Category analysis instead of region, and that's it basically. We also need to change title for this chart here. Instead of product profitability by location, this will be by channel. Channel, okay, perfect. And now we have to insert one more chart. Basically it will be stacked bar chart. So let's go to add a chart. And let's find stacked bar chart. Let's use this one. Place it here. And I'm gonna need to resize the chart also. Let's see what values we are presenting here. We have order date, as you can see. Breakdown dimension is product category, and we are analyzing profit. Product category and profit are fine for us. We would like to analyze that, but instead of order date, let's click on this. If you remember, we used this month option, but this time I'm gonna use this year quarter. Let's click on that. And now we have our chart completed. All these values are in place and it's time to modify this chart. Let's click on style. Let's click on bar order. Instead of this color, let's use this one. Instead of this, let's use, for example, this color. Also this one, and instead of orange, let's use, for example, this blue. Okay, let's scroll down. Let's see what else we can add. We will remove that grid, so let's click on transparent, and that will allow us to remove those grid lines. I'm gonna scroll down. We will leave this legend option, and we will also remove that background. Let's click on transparent, also for this one. and we no longer have that border and background. With this we basically completed this chart, and we also need to change that title for this chart. Now we are able to see basically category analysis for quarters. So now with that completed, let's proceed to our filter. We need to insert one filter here on top, and to insert filter, instead of going to this add a chart option, we will click on this add a control option. And let's find drop down list. As you can see, you have a lot of different filters here, but for now, interesting one is this drop down list. Let's place it here, and instead of channel, as you can see here, we will put product category. So let's use product category, and let's put in this control field section instead of channel, and now we are able to filter our data by product category. Let's also remove this metric, we don't need to see that. If I click on this, I will be able to see only, for example, for cell phones, also for music, and so on. Let's remove that. And now we are almost done with our dashboard. I just need to do one more thing. Let's copy this title, and let's place it here. I'm gonna make this smaller. Let's put that to be, for example, 14. Let's resize this. Let's change color for this one. Let me select that, and let's align it like that. And that is perfect. Now with this we completed our dashboard. Basically this dashboard will allow you to analyze your product profitability. Basically you can choose product category that you would like to see, and you will be able to see data for that product category. For example, regarding profit, we are able to see that this audio product category, we have the biggest profit here in Asia, Europe, North America, basically US, and here around Seattle. Also for that product category, we have this number of unique products. Also this is the average price. That is the only category that we selected, as you can see here. If I select two of them, for example, we will be able to see two here. So let's remove, for example, this one. We have also number of subcategories. Basically we have 4 subcategories for these cameras. And if we check, for example, this chart here, we will be able to see profitability for that category for each of these channels that we have. In this section below, because we only have one category, we have only one value here. And also for this one, we are able to analyze it for each of these regions and basically for each of these months. For those two charts, because we selected only one product category, we are able to see 100% because that's the only selected category, and also in this one here. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.